Hi all, today we are going to talk about the 1 year review of our Kia Sonet. I had bought this car in 2024 June and today it is July of 2025. It's been almost 1 year now and my car has run for around 7,300 to 400 kilometers, and I also have done the second service during this period. So today we will be talking about the 1 year driving experience of our Kia Sonet, the positives, negatives and the observations that we have. So welcome to my video. We will start with the drivetrain. The engine is a 3-cylinder one. It has its own vibrations and noises, and I got used to it. When I drove my friend's car, that's when I realized my engine is actually having a lot of vibration and noise. And the gearbox which is mated to this, it's a 7-speed DCT gearbox that also performs really well. But in wherever there is a bumper to bumper traffic, that's where it goes into a confusion whether it has to choose the D1 or D2 to maintain the speeds that it has to go at. I will add a small portion of video to explain that here. In this car, if you leave the brake in the D mode, the vehicle automatically starts moving even if you don't apply any accelerator. And the crawling speed of the first gear is around 6 km/h at this RPM. And this took this much time here. But in this case, you can see to reach to that crawling speed, it took very less time. So there itself, there is an acceleration inconsistency. And similarly, in D2 gear, the crawling speed is around 13 to 12 at that RPM. But again, you can see here that sometimes the vehicle goes at a very lower speed even in D2 gear. But you can observe that the RPM is still 1000, around 1000. So that's where there is some inconsistency. And again, this same vehicle in D2 mode can even go lower than that 6 km/h even at the same RPM of the engine, and it might even touch to 0. And just before that, your vehicle will shift to D1 and will start accelerating to 6 km/h. So as you can see here, even though the engine RPM remains the same, there is some inconsistency in the acceleration and crawling speeds. Now we will talk about the suspension of this vehicle. It's a hard suspension. Again, once you buy and start using it, you will get used to that, because I observed it is really hard when I drove my friend's car few days ago, and I realized that actually my car is having a harder suspension. But what I also realized was in tighter corners or in high speed, that car was not as stable as this car. So I feel like even though you have a hard suspension, it will be advantageous for you when you are going at very high speeds or tight corners. I will add a small video over here to explain you how much stable it is in higher speeds. Over here now we are cruising at a speed of 100 km/h in a left turn that has a lot of rumble strips. Usually these rumble strips will instabilize your car and you will have to reduce the speed. But due to the hard suspension, the vehicle was pretty stable, and in fact I actually accelerated to 120 km/h. So now we are cruising at 120 km/h. Usually if you take a soft sprung vehicle over rumble strips at this kind of speeds, it will lose contact from the ground and will become unstable. Now we are approaching to a right curve and there is a truck in my lane, so I have to make a lane change as well as take this curve. All I am doing at 120 km/h because the vehicle was inspiring a lot of confidence. And now here on this bridge expansion gaps, the vertical stability is also good. The brake in this Kia Sonet is actually a bit grabby. You get all 4 disc brakes in this car, and it's very sensitive brake also. Again, the advantage is whenever you are going at very high speeds, it's easy to achieve or easy to reduce your speeds and have a good control on the car, because you don't have to travel a lot with your foot to get the right action of brake. But the disadvantage is obviously whenever you are taking it out of your car parking or you are taking it a small corner at very low speeds, you want to reduce the speed, it sometimes it grabs a lot and it will give you a shock. So I will add a small video to explain again how it enhances your confidence at higher speeds while braking. In this scenario, we were going at 119 km/h and there was a low visibility region plus double trailer tractor. So we had to decelerate and it was pretty stable to reach to 80 km/h. Now we will talk about the headlight of this vehicle. till date I haven't had any issue with the light throw etc. But the problem I have observed is the water condensation inside these headlights. Not just this headlight, even in the fog light, even in the tail light, this humidification is happening. So that is not affecting the throw of light yet, but I feel like Kia should look into this also. Now we will talk about the tire in this vehicle. It's a 215 session tire and it's giving us very good confidence at higher speeds and on the corners or over the highways. It is giving us very good stability, and till date I don't have any complaint about this tire's performance. And the pressure I keep in these tires are 30 psi. Even though company asks you to keep 32 psi, I keep 30 psi because I have felt that with this hard suspension, if I keep my tire pressure also high, it is a total hard combination. Completely air filled stiff tire plus a hard suspension gives you very hard ride again. But when you have a softer tire, which means if you reduce the pressure, it can absorb a lot of vibrations, and you have a harder suspension, that made me feel like it is much better for my daily usage. Another important aspect of this car is its mileage. Over the last 7,500 kilometers, I have got 9.1 km per liter as my mileage, which is very low. And if you are comparing it with other cars like Maruti Baleno, you can say that it's bad actually. One thing that you have to understand is in this 7,500 kilometer, around 5,500 kilometers are driven in Bangalore bumper to bumper traffic. So I will give you a small explanation about how bad the traffic in Bangalore is. To cover 5 kilometers, it takes 30 minutes for me in the area where I travel. So that is the kind of fuel consumption I am getting from this car in this kind of traffic. So I feel like a 9.1 kilometer per liter for around 80% of the driven kilometers in Bangalore traffic, I feel it's average, good to have mileage. Along with that, now we will look into some features that comes in this car which are good as well as bad. We will start with the sunroof. Even though the sunroof is a really attractive feature and lot of people nowadays choose a car by ensuring that it has a sunroof, but in my case I feel like sunroof is not that helpful. So over here you can see wherever I am sitting and my head will be somewhere over here, and the sunroof is exactly over my head. If I have to look through the sunroof, I have to bend my head almost like perpendicular, like 90 degrees to the top, and that is not comfortable. This is where actually the sunroof is, and this is where my head is. And if I have to look through the sunroof, this is how I have to look through, and it is not that easy. And another reason I feel like the sunroof is not that helpful is, again, whenever you are driving it in the rain, whenever raindrops are falling onto it, it makes a lot of noise. In rainy season, as you can see, it is very noisy. You see here? So whenever there is water droplets falling onto this glass, it makes a lot of noise. Unlike the other glass of this car, it actually doesn't absorb a lot of noise. So whenever you drive with the sunroof and that sun blind closed, it's almost fine, but you have paid for it, right? So in that case you will keep it open to see through that, and if you have to look through that, you have to always do this. And if you have to enjoy the rain, again the rain is going to make a lot of noise on top of that, then you will end up closing that bit. During rain, another important problem is this visibility issue for your rear view mirrors. So you can see there are water droplets on the window. Similarly, all the water droplets which have splashed from your door and window to that mirror also occupies all that area, so you don't have any visibility. The same situation is on there on the left side as well as on the back window also. Similarly, in the rain, our wiper also makes some noise. I just want to give you how much it is. You can see. Another feature that comes in this car is the leather seat. It's a really nice looking, amazing craftsmanship seat. But the problem is, whenever you are traveling in the car and if it is a long period, your body itself will create a lot of heat that makes the leather get heat, and you will start sweating in your back. So in the front seats you have the ventilation feature, so it is not at all a problem. But in the back seats, when you are sitting for long hours, it is going to sweat your back and it is not comfortable. Similarly, another nice feature you have in this car is the parking sensors in the front and back. So it ensures that whenever something is very close by, it will beep, and it is not going to stop itself, but it will just beep. So it's like if there is something near 3 feet, it will make a symbol beep. When it is within 2 feet, it makes a bit more harder beat, and when it is within 1 feet, the beep frequency goes high. And the problem is, whenever you are going in traffic, bumper to bumper traffic, in similar to what you see in Bangalore, it always beeps. So you have to always keep the feature turned off. Similarly, another feature that you have is the auto engine cutoff. It means if you are traveling and you are stuck in a traffic light, the engine will turn itself off if it finds that you are going to stop there for some time. But it doesn't have any predictive feature. So all it does is, like, if it finds that you have stopped, it will just cut off the engine within 1.5 seconds. And if you are actually in a bumper to bumper traffic, you are going to stop, and in maybe in another 5-10 seconds you are going to move. So the engine will turn off, then the engine realizes, okay, my driver is now asking me to go. So it will turn on again, and it goes again, stops there, and then immediately it turns off. So instead of that, Kia could have made a small AI feature into that, like if you are in first gear and if you are crawling for some time, don't let it turn off. Another thing is, this car also has some dirt collection point. The one of the dirt collection point is, if you open the door, front door, the B pillar is a dirt collection point. Similarly, if you open the rear door, the C pillar is a dirt collection point. And if you open the dicky, there is also some dirt collection points. And after I bought this car, there was an update in this one. The update was basically adding 3 more features. One feature was alloy wheel. Another feature was the wireless mobile charging. Third feature was the rear wash and wipe, and they were not added free of cost. There was a bump of around 40,000 rupees in ex-showroom price, and of course, as it comes to the road, there might be more than 40,000 as a price hike, because the tax and everything comes on top of that. So in these 3 features, I feel like even if I don't have the alloy wheel or the wireless charging, it's not much of a concerning thing. But if I had a rear wash and wipe, I feel like it would have been really good. Another observation I have with this car is about its dicky opening. The dicky opening switch is somewhere in this position, and if you closely observe, it's not actually in the exact center over here. If you put your hand here, it's not in the exact center. You have to slightly offset it to the right. That's where you have the switch. But someone who uses it regularly won't have an issue. But the problem is, whenever I go to my office, I have some security people over there who regularly have to check my what do I have in my dicky. So they will try to open it. They will first try to find where the switch is. In that journey, they will make a lot of scratch here. Now I will talk about the second service experience, which is the 10,000 kilometer or 1 year major service in which your engine oil gets changed. So in my case, they have changed 4 main components in this. That is engine oil, then filter and gasket, then plug of oil drain. So these are the main 4 components they have changed, and the service cost, as per the service executive's explanation, it was expected to be somewhere around 6,000 rupees, and he told me next year your service will be costing somewhere around 8,000, the year after like 6,000. So altogether it will come somewhere around 22,000, somewhere like that. He introduced me to some Kia convenience packages, which are like, for this many years you pay in advance. So he explained me what it is. Like, he showed me a preventive oriented one, in which if you choose that, you have to pay 16,000, and they will give you free of cost underbody coating and rodent repellent coating in the vehicle, and all your service will be covered in this for the next 3 years, the next 3 free services basically. So I chose that one because I felt like if I add all the service costs for the next 3 years, it will be somewhere around 22,000, and if I am taking this package, it is going to be 16,000, and on top of that I get 2 protective maintenance things, and the monsoon is coming here, so I thought, okay, I will take that one. So that's how the first service went, and I went for that package. So they gave me the underbody coating. I didn't verify whether they have done it or not, or what is the condition. I trust they have done really well, and the car was in a good condition. They told me there is not much problems with your car, there is no issues, and they gave me this just regular second service, and they also had done the wheel balancing for my car. The Kia service was good and I don't have any negative feedback on that service. Now we will look into the color of our car. It's a black one, and the reason why I am showing it in the night is because I forgot to shoot it in the daytime. So still, let's come back to the color. Many people ask me why did I take a black one instead of a white one. The reason I have on Kia Sonet, blacks look better, and again there are some other logical reason which I just used to justify. So the headlight of this vehicle comes with a black treatment, and if you are taking a white car or any other color, this headlight stands apart and doesn't blend along. So if you take a black one, it just blends along with it, and it doesn't stand out like a black glow. Now if you look at the wheel cladding of this vehicle, again if it's in a white color or some other color, it will not blend along. So if you take a black color, it's again just goes along with it. And another reason is the wheels of Kia Sonet looks smaller compared to its size. So if you take a black car, it's hard to notice your wheels are smaller. And again, black has some other major issues. The black color itself, it has this property because it absorbs a lot of light energy, and it is not reflecting all that radiations. So when it absorbs all this light energy, it tends to be heating more, and your air conditioner is going to work hard to make the cabin cooler. So due to that reason, your fuel consumption will be high. So black has a problem in that area, but still over here I chose black because it looks better on my car. Similarly, one more problem in the black color is the maintenance. You can see over here, even in the night, the black color car has a lot of dust visible on that. So in the daytime also it does the same. One more point I will add here is about our hill hold assist. It's a technology that helps you to keep your vehicle without rolling backwards when you are in a gradient, so that the vehicle will hold the brake for some more time, so that you can lift your foot off the brake and start pressing the accelerator. So I recently realized that the vehicle also has that feature enabled in the reverse gear. So I was taking my car to my parking lot, and when I left my foot from the brake pedal and pressed the accelerator, I observed that the vehicle didn't go forward. Instead, it stayed there, and it gave me some more time to accelerate backward. So this function actually works in both directions, both forward as well as backward. Similarly, when you get into the car, it feels smaller inside. The cabin space feels like a private cocoon space. It's of very high quality, but still it actually feels smaller for the width of your car. Because if you compare the width of this car and a Hyundai Creta, both are same. You can see from this image that both are having 1790 mm as their width. But when it comes to the Kia Sonet, the track width of the wheel from there, when it comes to the body line, it becomes compressed. In the case of Creta, from the track width of the wheel, as it comes to the top, it is not having much of a compression. So that's where the cabin space is lost in Kia Sonet. Now I will explain you about few accessories I have bought for my car. I will start with the neck pillow. This I have bought from Amazon. It's a memory foam one. It's large enough for your comfortable neck support. The reason why I bought it was when I shifted from my sedan car to this SUV, I was feeling some neck pain. I was not sure whether it was because of this, but still I just bought one of these. But over the time I got used to it, and I feel like it's good to have. And another accessory that I have bought is the air filter. This I bought from Refair, and it helps to keep your car environment clean. And another thing that I have bought is this waste basket, which again I to keep here to ensure that I don't put the waste or litter around in my car. And to keep these two accessories, I have compromised these two cup holders here. Since I am not a person who regularly take coffee in my car or any drinks in my car, I don't feel like I have actually compromised. And another accessory I have bought is this 12-volt socket charger pin, which has 3 outs from that. There is 2 USB and 1 Type-C out. So from my last 1 year of driving experience, I would say that this is a really good car. The plus points are the engine, transmission, the suspension, which is hard. It's a blessing on the highway. And the interior is amazing. It's a very high quality one. None of the components have ever malfunctioned for me. And one negative point I would say is about the mileage. The car has low mileage because either you have to choose mileage or the power. So over here the power stands out, so always the mileage is a compromise. So anyone who is interested to buy this car, I would say you can go forward.